Hey guys, welcome to my channel or back to my channel. Today I will be showing you guys how to crochet these cute little Spider-Man hangings. You can hang them on your bag or your car. Like you can hang them on anything and they're just so cute and easy. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and let's get right into it. Starting with materials, you will need some blue yarn, black yarn, red yarn, and white yarn. And I don't use a lot of each yarn. I use very little of each yarn, so you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of yarn. You'll just need very, very little amounts. And then you'll need scissors, your crochet hook, polyfill stuffing, and a hot glue gun. And that's all you'll need for this project. So let's get started. So we're gonna start with our red yarn, and I'm using my 3.5mm crochet hook. I suggest using a smaller size crochet hook so your Spider-Man can look very clean since it's small. And to start off, you're just gonna do 6 single crochets in a magic ring. To do a magic ring, you hold your yarn with your thumb and your 4 fingers, and you loop it around as if you're going to do a slip knot. Go under, go over, pull up a loop, pinch it, slip your fingers out, and there you go. There's a magic circle. So you're going to chain 1, and into the magic circle you're going to work 6 single crochets. So to do a single crochet, you go into the circle, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and I'm going to do this 5 more times. So once you do your 6 single crochets, you can go ahead and pull your magic circle closed, and to do that you pull the tail all the way through. We're going to do 6 single crochet increases. So in each of these stitches you're going to work 2 single crochets to give you 12 single crochets total. So I'm going to go straight into the first single crochet we worked, and I'm going to work 2 single crochets into that 1 single crochet. And it can be a little hard, but just take your time. So here's 1, and then I'm going to work another one in there. Then I'm going to go in the next single crochet stitch and I'm going to work 2 single crochets in there. So here's 2, 3. Then in the next I'll work 2. So here's 4 and 5. The next one 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, sorry, my count was wrong. That was 10. And then the last one is 1, 2, which is 12. So you should have 12 single crochets total now. And you can use a stitch marker if you'd like. I just prefer to count, but if you want to put a stitch marker into that first stitch so you don't have to count and you can just do your rows, you can go ahead and do that. But our next round is going to be a single crochet and an increase to give you 18 single crochets total. So in the next stitch I'm going to work a single crochet. And then in the stitch after that, I'm going to work an increase. Then a single crochet. Then an increase. So I'm working my last increase, and that'll give me 18 stitches total. Like so. And now for our next row, we're going to do 2 single crochets and an increase, and we'll have 24 single crochets total. So here's 1 single crochet, going into the next stitch, 1 single crochet, and then in the stitch after that I'm going to work 2. So I'm going to do that again, 1, and then 1 in the next one, and then 2 in the stitch after that. Now I'm working my last increase, so I'll have 24 stitches total, like so. Now our next row will be 3 single crochets and an increase. So here's 1, next stitch 2, next stitch 3, and then in that next stitch we're going to do 2. So we're going to do 3 again and then an increase. Now for the next 4 4 rounds, we're gonna work 30 single crochets all the way around without any increases. So we're just gonna work 1 single crochet into each stitch 4 times, around and around and around. And this is where I do use a stitch marker. For my stitch marker, I just put my hook through the stitch that we were just in, and I just pull my tail up and use it as a stitch marker. And so then every time I get to that stitch marker, I'll know that I've done 1 row. So I'm gonna go around with 1 single crochet into each stitch for the next 4 rounds, and I will meet you guys when I'm done. So I've just finished my 4 rows of just 30 single crochets all the way around. Now for the next round, we're gonna start working our decreases, and to start, we're gonna do 3 single crochets and then a decrease. So I'm gonna use my stitch marker for this just because I don't feel like counting. And we're gonna do 3 single crochets, just 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So here's 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna work an invisible decrease. To work an invisible decrease, all you have to do is, you see the V's, you're gonna go into the V that's facing towards you of the next stitch. And then you're gonna go straight into the next V that's facing towards you on the stitch next to that one. Like so. So you should have 3 loops on your hook. You're gonna pull through 2 loops and then single crochet it out. So we're gonna do that all the way around. So it's 3 single crochets and a decrease. So here's 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna work my invisible decrease. So into the front loop, then into the next front loop, pull through both loops, pull through 2 loops. So I'm gonna keep doing this all the way around. Remember, it's 3 single crochets and a decrease until I get to my stitch marker. So I'm working my last decrease, and you should end off with 1 stitch and then the stitch where your stitch marker's in, and that's where you're gonna work your decrease. And boom. For our next row, instead of doing 3 single crochets in a decrease, we're going to do 2 single crochets in a decrease. So we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then we're going to work a decrease. So it's just 2 single crochets and a decrease all the way around until you get back to your stitch marker. So I finished my 2 single crochets and my decrease, and you should have 18 single crochets left in your round. So now we're going to go down to 12 single crochets by doing 1 single crochet, 1 decrease all the way around. So we're just going to work a single crochet into the next stitch, and then a decrease into the stitch after that. And you're going to repeat this all the way around, which is 1 single crochet, 1 decrease. So now that we've built the head of our Spider-Man, we're gonna start working on our body, but we're not gonna tie off. We're actually gonna keep going. We're gonna do 1 single crochet and 1 increase. So in the next stitch, I'm gonna work a single crochet. And then in the stitch after that, I'm gonna work an increase. An increase is just 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. Then I'm gonna work a single crochet into the next stitch. And then an increase. So keep going with a single crochet and an increase all the way around until you meet your stitch marker. You should have 18 stitches in your round right now. But we're gonna move on to our next round, which is 2 single crochets and an increase, and you should have 24 single crochets after this round is done. So I'm gonna do a single crochet in the first stitch, and then in the next stitch I'm gonna do another single crochet, and in the third stitch I'm gonna do an increase. I'm going to continue this pattern until I have 24 single crochets total, or until I reach my stitch marker. So you should have 24 single crochets in your round, and now for the next 3 rounds, we're going to do 1 single crochet into each of the 24 single crochets. So just do 3 rounds of 24 single crochets, and I'll meet you guys when I'm done. Just 1 single crochet in each stitch. So this is what we look like after we've done our 3 rows, and now we're going to change to our blue. And there's plenty of ways you can connect your colors. This is how I do it. I just loop my color through where I was working and pull everything nice and tight. And now we're just gonna work another row of 24 single crochets, but with the blue. Just one single crochet into each stitch. For our next round, we're gonna work 2 single crochets and a decrease, and we will end up with 18 single crochets after this round is complete. So I'm just gonna work 2 single crochets like normal. And then a decrease. And you're just going to repeat this all the way around. 2 single crochets and a decrease, 2 single crochets and a decrease, until you have 18 stitches left or until you reach your stitch marker. So once you finish that round is when we can start stuffing our Spider-Man. So once it's stuffed, I'm going to move on to our next round, which is 1 single crochet, 1 decrease. And after this round, you should have 12 stitches in your round. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off my red yarn because we won't be needing it anymore. So yeah, go ahead and work 1 single crochet, 1 decrease. Now for our very last round of the body, we're gonna work 6 decreases. So you're just gonna work decreases all the way around, no single crochets. So here's 1 decrease. And then just go right into the second decrease. And you're gonna do this a total of 6 times. So that was 2, I'm gonna do 4 more. So once that's done, you can go ahead and chain 1 and cut off a long tail so you can weave it in. And you can use a darning needle, but I'm just gonna use my hook. You're gonna wanna go through the first loop of each of these stitches, the one that's closest to you, and you're gonna pull your yarn through all of them. There should be 6. So I'm going into the stitch closest to me, of the V, pulling it through. And I'm gonna do this all the way around. It's okay if you miss a few. Okay, so I pulled them through all of the loops towards me. Now I'm just gonna pull it closed, and it should close your hole. And then you're gonna go ahead and put your hook through like a random stitch, pull your yarn through, and just chain 2. Pull it through, pull it tight. That creates a knot. And then you can just go ahead and put your hook through random stitch, pull the yarn through, and cut off the excess. And now we're done with the Spider-Man body. We're gonna start moving on to his arms, his legs, his eyes, and then his web. So now we're gonna do our arm, and to start our arm, we're gonna do 6 single crochets into a magic ring. And then you can go ahead and pull it closed. For the next 4 rounds, we're gonna do 1 single crochet into each of the stitches for 6 single crochets. So just do 1 single crochet into each of these, and you should leave off with 6. And you're gonna do this 4 times. So I'm just gonna go around 4 times with 1 single crochet into each stitch, and then I'll meet you guys when I'm done. So I just did my 4 rounds of just 1 single crochet into each of the 6 stitches. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do a color change to blue, the same way I did it on the body. And then for the next 2 rows, you're just gonna work 1 single crochet into each stitch. So you should have 2 rows of blue by the end of this. So once you do your 2 rows, you can go ahead and chain 1 and cut off your yarn. You don't have to leave a tail because we're gonna be gluing our arm, but if you are gonna be sewing your arm rather than gluing, then leave a long tail. And here's your first arm. You're gonna go ahead and make a second one, and I will meet you guys when I have my second arm. Our 2 arms, and now we're gonna start with the legs. So for the legs, you're gonna get your red yarn, And you're gonna do 8 single crochets in your magic ring. So once you've done 8, you can go ahead and close your magic ring. And then we're gonna do 2 single crochets. So 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. Then we're gonna work 2 decreases. So we're gonna work 1 decrease, remember back loops only. And then another decrease, back loops only. Then we're gonna work 2 single crochets in the final stitches of the round. So here's 1 single crochet, and then the next stitch, 1 single crochet. So we should have 6 single crochets in our round, and now for the next 2 rounds, we're gonna work 1 single crochet into each stitch. So I'm just gonna work the 6 total single crochets twice. So I'm just gonna two rows of 1 single crochet in each stitch. I'm making it more complicated than it needs to be. So here's what it looks like. Now we're gonna go ahead and move over to blue. And with our blue yarn, we're just gonna connect. And we're gonna do 3 rounds of just 1 single crochet into each round. So for the next 3 rounds, just 1 single crochet into each round. And I'll meet you guys when I'm done. So I finished the leg and I went ahead and chained 1 and cut off my yarn and tucked in my loose ends. So you're gonna go ahead and make 2 of those, so you'll have 2 legs. Moving on to the eyes, you're gonna take your white yarn and you're gonna do a magic ring. Chain 1, and inside the magic ring you're going to do 5 half double crochets. So a half double crochet is you wrap around your hook, go into the circle, pull up a loop, pull through 3 loops. I'm going to do this 4 more times. Now we can go ahead and close our circle and chain 1. We're gonna flip our work, and into the first half double crochet, we're gonna work 2 half double crochets, but in the back loops only. So the V that's facing away from you, you're gonna work 2 half doubles into there. And you're just gonna work 2 half doubles into each back loop of the 5 half double crochets until you get to the end, and you should have 10 half double crochets total when you're done. So once you're done, this is what it should look like. And I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna get our black yarn and go ahead and attach. And we're just gonna work single crochets through the whole perimeter of this eye. I chain 1, and then you just kind of work into random spaces along the side, all the way down. And then once you get back up to the corner, you can go ahead and chain 1 and then work in both loops of your previous round of half double crochets. Then I'm going to chain 1, slip stitch into our first single crochet, chain 1, and cut our yarn. Then you can go ahead and cut all the other loose ends. You're going to want to go ahead and make 2 of these. The last step in this process is chaining our spider web for the Spider-Man. So you can chain however long you want. I'm going to chain and I'll let you guys know how much I end up chaining. But yeah, you're just gonna chain a spider web for Spider-Man. So I ended up chaining 70 and that was enough for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut off my yarn. And basically where this spider web is gonna go is it's gonna go on your Spider-Man upside down, so like this. So you can go ahead and measure it out, see if you like it. I think this is enough for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue it. So to glue it, you just put your two ends together. Take your hot glue, find the front of your Spider-Man, and right in the middle of the front, you're gonna put a little strip of glue. And you can go ahead and put your spider web on there. Like so. So your Spider-Man will hang like this. And after I glue the spider web, I'm gonna go ahead and glue the hands or the arms. So for the arms, I always glue the strings to the spider web underneath it so that it can kind of, I don't have to sew it in later. And I just glue the hands like this so it holds the web. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a strip of glue on my arm. And then I just place it on there. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. And I make sure the hands are touching. And you can just kind of hold it down so it can dry. And then you can go ahead and cut off the excess. I'm gonna do the exact same thing with the feet, but down here. I just do it right under the arms, like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue that. And there is the body of the Spider-Man. Now I'm going to glue the eyes. So for the eyes, you literally just find where you want them on the face and glue them on. But first, I like to glue on the loose ends just so that they're not in the way. So I just put a little strip of glue and then I put the loose end down. Like so. And I'm just going to go ahead and map out about where I want my eyes to go. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue the eyes on. I just put glue on the back of the eyes and then attach it. And now with this, you are done with your Spider-Man. But one final step I like to take, this is optional. You can take a lighter and lightly coat the Spider-Man to get rid of just the extra fuzzies. There we go. You just kind of coat over your Spider-Man. Don't hold over anything for too long or else it'll burn. And there we have it, our Spider-Man hanging. You can hang this on your car or on your bag. It is all up to you. But yeah. So that was the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope you guys made a cute little Spider-Man hanging. Let me know if you have any questions or any concerns and I'll be sure to answer your comment. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Make sure you like and subscribe and let me know what you want to see from me next. Bye! Love you. Mwah!